Guys, hey, Neal Brennan here, guys. Hi.
Hey, Neal, you sound way blacker than you did when I just
That actually wasn't about me, Sean. That was about Moshe.
And
guys,
this week,
Neal Brennan here. I have one date.
Double
Marlon,
the Negro.
Shut your mouth.
I'm sorry, shut.
Marlon, shut it.
Hey, I need a headphone, Neal.
You don't have
kind
headphones?
of shoes are those? Only a white guy could wear those. If I wore those,
well, yeah, people would snap on you.
brothers would stomp me and snap on me. They fuck me up. Like, what are you wearing, dude?
Kind of like how I'm getting.
It's like Green Goblin.
This is my name's Neal Brennan. Marlon Wayans.
You have ankle socks on. It's weird.
From the Wayans family.
Neal
is making fun of my shoes. I have a date to promote.
No, listen. Before you promote your date, listen.
His date, dude.
I just want to say that this guy is not a white guy. Neal is black, and he has ashy ankles, and only black people have ashy ankles. And you're the first white guy I've seen with ashy ankles, and I think there's an ingrown in your beard. I swear to God.
Are you happy to be the first white guy to use magic shade?
That's hilarious.
I don't have
and it's
see you around, buddy.
Guys, and I'm flattered.
What I'm trying to say is I never really had a daddy.
This Neal Brennan, listen to me. I'm going to be
about it. I can't hear shit now.
December 15th. I am going to be
in my house and kick me off my
in
couch.
Portland.
Sorry about that, man.
At the Hollywood
That's
Theater.
how we felt.
Come fuck with me at the Hollywood Theater.
How big is that
Portland.
theater?
It's like 300 or something.
Oh.
It ain't like,
I thought you was doing. I thought you was Kevin Hart in it for a second.
No,
I was like, damn,
no, I didn't even like that.
Off a goddamn off a podcast. When is this going to be up?
Tomorrow.
Okay, well, we're going to be at El Cajon Casino. And that's on the first 2 shows
of December.
El Cajon Casino, and that's in El Cajon. I don't know where the fuck that's at. I think it's by San Diego somewhere in California. Yeah. Also, we're going to be at the Addison Improv the 6th through the 9th. That's the Addison Improv, the December 6th through the 9th. And then we're going to be in Ontario the 20th through the 23rd, and that's also in Los Angeles at the Ontario Improv. And lastly, we're going to be at the Orleans Hotel in Vegas on the 29th and the 30th of December. It's not quite New Year's, but it's close to it.
Moshe's got...
If I could just suggest...
Finding Waldo?
If I could just suggest...
Finding Robin Thicke.
If I could just suggest that...
you are hairy as shit.
Quiet.
Wow, look at his arms.
The dude talk.
Can you look at his arms?
Let him talk.
Fucking Teen Wolf is right there.
You can get to clowning on me ad infinitum once we start the podcast. We have not even begun the podcast.
Thank you.
Okay,
so
fine.
if we could just start...
You're wasting all this
And maybe Neal
unfunny
do your dates again, and then we've got your dates, so we'll plug it in, and we'll just...
Guys, Neal Brennan here. December 15th.
He looks so annoyed right now.
Be in
Marlon,
the reason he had me do another take is because you kind of fucked up the first.
You have to be clear.
I didn't say that. We were trying to be cool about it.
Yeah, exactly.
We were trying not to
I find this fascinating.
You were not professional the first time I did these
You
takes.
are very stereotypical.
Now, the reason is
I'm just trying to be me. You stop throwing those.
I know, but listen, Marlon.
Okay, fine.
Life is not a fucking blooper reel.
Okay, fine, guys.
But wait 1 second. This is him introducing.
I got it,
himself.
Sean.
Okay.
Let him do it. I didn't know.
December 15th, Hollywood Theater, Portland, Oregon. Come fuck with me. Fun night. Me talking about my dick, some other things. Come.
Now, don't you think me interrupting you is a lot more
I like
fun?
the first take.
That's what I said.
I'm going to use the first
Thank
take.
you.
That's Moshe trying. That's
Mr.
Moshe.
Business over here.
That's Moshe being
Mr. Business
worrisome.
over here trying to handle
everybody,
the
it's
business.
Moshe
You don't
Kasher
fucked up the
here.
business. You understand? The people hear you through the
Do you
mic.
have dates?
Yeah, I'm trying.
Tell your fucking dates.
They're not.
I didn't even notice. Somebody's been talking.
You should have done your dates in the first place.
Exactly.
I know.
I'm sorry. Everybody
I can
stop.
edit this shit.
Fucking with the champs. I have a lot of announcements to make, and I know this is an
Just
odd
do the
night
good
to
ones.
Do it. We do have T-shirts. Our big T-shirt competition has been officially called, and we have 3 designs. So if you go to bluecollardistro.com/the champs, you can buy one of the new champs T-shirts. That's pretty exciting, and you can fuck with us. If you want to fuck with me, I'm on Netflix. Streaming live in Oakland is my special, and watch it. Give that shit 5 stars, and you can come see me live too. I will be at the San Francisco Punchline December 21st and 22nd. Grand Rapids the weekend of New Year's Eve, and February 8th through the 10th there is a special live recording of the Champs podcast at the San Francisco Sketch Fest. So come fuck with us. Fuck with your boy. Doug?
Who cares? Just follow me on Twitter at Douggpound. I don't have a mic tonight, so
You tell me what you
can't really pick on me. You know,
Tell me what you want to say.
if I'm not on the mic.
Tell me what you want to say.
Let us
say it for you.
begin
Tell you what
the show.
I'll say it for you. Follow Doug.
You can be very overbearing.
That I can be.
Start the show.
That I can be. Why did you pick this quintessential black music?
This is really black.
Yeah, fucking with the shit out.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're live from Hollywood, California. You are fucking with the champs, your favorite podcast in the building. Very excited to see you. We would love for you to listen to the rest of this episode, even though those dates might have come very scattergun at you. Neal, what's happening?
It's all very loud, homie. Neal Brennan here, guys. You're fucking with the champs. Now, I've been texting Marlon Wayans. He was supposed to be here a couple weeks ago. Overslept-ish.
But I told you I was going to make it. And the key is I'm here,
and you're here?
man. And I told you I was going to be here. Fuck you, Sean. I'm tired.
And he brought bonus. That's the great thing about the Wayans Brothers. Wayne, when you deal with one, you might get 3 or 4.
My mama's out in the van. She want to talk too.
No. All right, so this is what now in the park.
Let's introduce our guest. How about it? I know that you already know who it is, but from the stars of stage and screen, it is Shawn and Marlon Wayans, ladies and gentlemen.
And now y'all fucking with the Wayans.
Swag.
It's
What's
Malcolm and Eddie, except we was on WB.
Swag.
Now,
right, fuck with my van.
Shawn, here I wanted to say you pulled up in front of me in what can only be described as a white minivan, and I said to Marlon,
But it wasn't the pervert kind. It was
no.
They got a different. What's the other kind?
It's more so like the vans that the Hasidic Jewish guys drive when they move their diamonds from one place to the next.
Now you're speaking my language.
I feel very hurt about this.
No, I'm serious. I got one of those vans, very incognito.
Why do you have a van?
Because my kids, I'm not going to have them spill cookies and cantaloupe and turds in the back of my car.
Sean basically has a beautiful panorama Porsche that he hides underground so that baby mama don't know what he drives.
Well, now she knows what the fuck I drive. You
Okay.
idiot.
But also, you made the point that when you're black, you kind of have to flag. Like as a white person, I drive a Chevy Volt, and nobody looks at me like this. Look at this poor.
If you drove something nice as a white guy, white people look at you like, now, why would you just waste money like that?
You're a good white kid. Why would you do that? You know that's a waste.
Yeah, you should buy diamonds instead.
But as a black person, tell me about the pressure to
we're pressured to do ignorant shit and live above our means.
So you feel pressure, and I sort of gave in that I made fun of you for driving a minivan when I should have just gone like, you know what? It's a responsible car to drive.
You know what? You probably should have took the take that you know Sean is being smart with his money.
Yeah,
because I used to drive my '95 Range Rover, it was a 1994 Range Rover, and I used to have like rappers come up to me and go, "Yo, you must be rich," and I'm like, "Why?" Because it's the year 2008 and you're driving a 94 Range Rover. And then I take them to my house and they're like, this is where the money's at. Yes, I'm not going to put my money into a depreciating asset. I'm going to put it into a house or something
like a diamond out Jesus piece.
You don't have Wayans Brothers pieces. You don't have a Wayans Brothers.
No.
You're used to most niggas put their money in their mouth, like literally. Like Lil Wayne, he probably has $250,000 in his mouth. Like if you rob Lil Wayne and you robbed him for his mouth, you can make money.
Give me your mouth.
Give me your motherfucking
Give me your
mouth,
motherfucking mouth,
bitch.
All right, so I have a lot of questions for you guys.
Go for it.
All right, so how old were you when Keenan when he made "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" and Hollywood Shuffle?
I remember Keenan giving us the script to "I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker" when we were 9 or 10 years old.
No, we was older than that.
Nah, man,
You couldn't have been that much older than that.
Yeah, we was about 9 or 10, and we sat on the bed, and it was a broken full bed in the middle room in my projects, and me and Sean.
Yeah, you guys still lived in the project.
Yeah, we still lived in the project
on like 9th Ave.
Yeah, 9th Ave, 16th Street, 9th Ave.
It was the Comedy Project, right?
Comedy Project.
No, it was the Project. See, now you can't go, yo, where you from? I'm from Chelsea.
It's like Chelsea is rich.
Yeah,
very like gay now.
Exactly. Gays came in and was like, we're gonna take these pit bulls. I'm gonna replace them with Pomeranians.
That's the best. That's what you want is gay people to move in your
Hell
neighborhood.
yeah, you do.
You do, but it really kills your rep.
It kills the projects for sure.
It kills your street cred.
All your street cred.
But your real estate goes up.
Yeah, but having said that, those projects are still there, and
they're still there.
A little like you can feel the difference, even if you just cross the street on 16th.
Listen, it's a gated community.
We're not in the project.
It's a gated community, But the gate is on the flip side. Like they
niggas
gated motherfuckers in.
Yeah.
Like zombies.
Right. They gated them in.
It's quarantine.
Right.
So were you guys like insufferable? Like, fuck you, my brothers are out in Hollywood and they're doing well.
We were poor amongst everybody else,
We were
just
just
like
happy
everybody else. But we had hope. There was a glimmer of hope.
Only when my brother bought us a new couch did we actually feel like we were something.
That was his big thing.
He bought us a new couch.
That when Eddie Murphy came to our house.
Yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, 'cause
Yes.
he
He
bought
came
the
in
new
the
couch
project.
because Eddie Murphy was coming to our house, and he didn't want Eddie sitting on the roach-infested couch that my mother still had plastic covers on.
Wait, were your parents funny?
No.
Yes, they were.
My dad's annoying like me, and my mom has a short fuse, and so my dad
Like
would
me.
annoy the shit out of my mother, and she would curse him out. And when my mom cursed my dad out, she was like Richard Pryor with titties. It was the funniest shit ever. She caught my dad. What was some of the curses she caught my dad?
No, man, we ain't gonna go off in the.
Oh yeah, you
No,
can.
talk about your
Come
mom.
on.
No.
Now, black guys like it when you talk about their moms, right? Is that a thing? Is that
No,
true?
my mom talks about you. That's the difference. Like,
My mother be listening to this. My mother call in on this podcast.
It's not even live. She's such a
everyone out.
powerful black woman that she will call in on a not live
yeah, she
podcast.
will.
So, all right. So, and why did Eddie come to the house? Just because he
He's
was
Keenan's
doing
friend.
Raw and
Yeah, he was
They were
Keenan's
doing
friend,
Raw.
and he would come by and pick Keenan up because Keenan would come home and he would stay at our house, and he would come pick him up. They go to the club and hang out, and then.
So this is before Keenan moved to L.A. or
No, this is after.
This is after Keenan
So
moved
this
to
is
LA.
he's doing movies, and he would still, when he came back to New York, he would stay with you guys.
He
Well,
wasn't quite doing movies.
yet.
He
was
did movie.
He was writing
Right.
with Eddie.
Got it.
They were working, I think, on Raw at the time, which was called Pieces of My Mind because it was going to be like a sketch movie,
Right.
with some stand up in it. But then that kind of changed, and then so it was during that time he was like a producer at Eddie Murphy's company, which was what
Eddie Murphy Productions.
Eddie Murphy Productions.
That's a great name.
And they had
That was the name of mine.
Genius.
It's a really good one.
and they had
Clever.
a brownstone on
Manhattan, on
80 something
60
Street,
60 something.
Okay, 60 something Street, and that's where they used to write out of. And so my brother was producing Raw at the time, so Eddie would come by, and when Eddie came to our house, the audacity of me and this fucking guy,
Try and snap on him.
we was trying to snap jokes, the crack jokes on Eddie Murphy because he had these cowskin pants on.
Yeah, Eddie used to wear a lot of stuff like that.
But
Yeah.
me and Sean was going after his cowskin pants, and we didn't realize the pants he had on cost more than everything we had in
It
our.
cost more than our father.
Yeah. yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious. And then when did you feel like Keenan had made it? When I'm Gonna Get You Sucker came out?
You know, the first day I felt famous was the day that Eddie Murphy came to our house, and my whole project.
Did like the project shut
The
down?
whole
It would've been
project.
like a
They were
holiday.
lined
Have
up.
you ever seen a roach motel? Like how the roaches are lined up to get in there?
You seen the movie The Bird?
That's what my project.
When they were
Yeah.
trying to escape at the end.
Yeah.
But it was with project people.
Oh,
It's like
that's
you had to
hilarious.
step over
People in
them.
trees and
yes,
shit.
Eddie had to. He had to not make noise when he went to the limo. He had to turn the car off and just kind of leave out in neutral, so that they didn't get attacked.
scene. That's hilarious.
Yes.
And it was like a holiday. And how
was-
long did he stay for?
Man, like hours.
Oh, did he really? Did
Yeah.
anybody cook or anything, or was it just like a hangout?
No, he just hung out. We laughed. We
He
it
really
was
gave us
just amazing.
autographs. Yeah, one of the greatest days like of our life.
Where there were kids like hula
you
hooping
know what,
and
That-
stuff
that's
as they came by.
the first day I felt famous, and because when we walked into the car, everybody in our project was there, and we was like, no autographs, no autographs, no.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he gave us so much more swag than we already had. Like, we was already cool, kind of. We was getting cool because Keenan and Damon was
Right.
trying to make
Swag.
noise in Hollywood. But then when Murph came by, it was just like a whole different kind of respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't make us any richer. We were still broke. We had roaches in our cereal.
Right, you were
and
still in the
shit,
project,
just like
but-
everybody else.
No,
But
but
you
remember
knew
how
people.
important famous people were when you were a kid? It was like the biggest
Also,
thing in the world.
again, you have to contextualize how famous Eddie Murphy was. There were
biggest
no
star in
rappers.
the world.
Yeah.
There were no famous rappers.
He was the biggest
and
star
everybody.
in the
and Bill
world.
Cosby was 55.
Right, and you think
So
about
it was
This
him
was
and
right
Michael
before.
Jackson.
This was before like Bill Cosby's eyes started leaking.
Let's go before. But aside from fame, he was the funniest motherfucker.
Oh, that's the other thing.
Ever. is Beverly Hills Cop
funniest
1.
motherfucker.
Yeah.
Beverly Hills Cop 1. This is after 48 hours in trading
There was
places.
no one funnier than fucking Eddie Murphy.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's a great image of just like
Come on.
projects in Manhattan, and all of a sudden the most famous person in the world
It's
comes
like
to
Coming to
visit
America.
these kids.
Yeah,
It's like,
it was.
you're the biggest pimp in the entire building.
So this
And he's
day, I
wearing
don't
pimpy
let
clothes.
nobody fuck with Eddie. Like,
Tell me, ask him. I literally will defend that motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't fuck around.
And everybody's like, Eddie's over,
and you get
Eddie's
silence
over.
on me.
Eddie's a brilliant dude. Here's the thing about Eddie. Eddie's funny when he wants to be.
No kidding.
And if you ever sat down and talked to him, he'll crack like an hour's worth of material.
Of course.
Just in conversation, he's just going, "You're fucking hilarious."
Now we had writers on our show like would try to write Eddie Murphy jokes, and we just like, what?
Yeah, he'd be like,
fuck
the
out
fuck
of
are you
here.
talking
Hey,
about?
y'all change this shit. This ain't fucking going on.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, you may not,
yeah. You might be a
you
hater.
may not know. Yeah, you may not know he's funny.
Yeah,
but I've seen
do.
him, and
This
he's
nigga came to
fucking
my
funny.
house. Fuck
yeah.
y'all.
Whenever he wants to be, he can be.
All right, so then Living Color happens, and then
I'm gonna get you sucker happens first.
Oh, right, okay.
So
But
we come out there. I stay with Keenan in the summertime.
what's the age difference between you two?
I'm a year
Shawn
and a half
Marlon?
older than him.
He's a year and a half
All right.
older than me, but his driver license said he was 4.5 years older than me.
Why?
And he was acting like it.
Because I wanted to drive early.
Because he was smart and he knew that in order to get pussy, he had to lie about his age. Because Sean actually looked older. He had a chest. And I look like
Marlon looked like 7 years younger. Cause
You still look.
He didn't.
You
have
still
a-
look as like when I
chest.
used to see you 20 years
no,
ago. you
I
look
look
the same.
like really when I was 18, I look fucking 12. Like
Yeah.
Like for real, it was
I remember.
hard for me. And this fucking guy, his license said he was 4.5 years older than he really was, and he was getting laid.
How did you get a license? You just had a.
That was
fake-
back in the day, man. You could just wink at somebody.
No,
and
they
would do
done
it.
fucked around and
made things
Someone
legal.
made a mistake, and I took advantage of it.
Who?
One of the health departments, when you get your polio shots and
Sure.
rubella.
This
and
is
all
back
that
in the
shit.
20s?
Yeah,
back
that
in the day.
rubella. You got the rubella virus. you got
all
your
that
bubonic
fucking
plague
shit. So the
vaccines.
diphtheria? What the fuck is diphtheria?
The German measles, the regular measles.
So all of that
Chickenpox.
shit.
You came. So you came out here.
I came out to L.A. during that summer to stay with Keenan.
This is 89.
87.
Okay.
87. I came to stay with him for the summertime, and while he was shooting, I'm gonna get you sucker. And
I was supposed to come out, but I forgot what the fuck I was doing. I was too young or whatever.
No, you
I was
did
supposed
come.
to
You came out later in the summer.
But I was supposed to come out and do Chris Rock's role in The Rip Man. I was supposed to
Really?
do that. Yeah, but I came out a little bit too late. I came out like a week later. and
That's how when
why-
you do.
wait,
You're,
how
when
old
you're
were
that
you?
age, you're like, I'll do something
Yeah.
else. And
Yeah.
you're like, no,
I had
motherfucker.
no
Like
idea.
a lot of
Yeah.
people don't get movies offered
Yeah.
to them.
No, he was very confident. I'll do
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
How old were you?
He was a freaking kid.
12.
man. No,
so
you
the
wasn't.
Rib Man was supposed to be a
I was
kid.
13, 12 years old.
You was 14.
You
years
lied
old.
about your age so much, you fucking really
But I
thought
didn't
you was
lie
17.
to you. I'm telling you that we was a little bit
He would
older.
never lie to you.
Sean.
Let me tell you.
in
Here's why I'm
89.
gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Fuck the math. Fuck the
Fuck the math.
logistics.
All right.
Fuck the math. Here's why. When I came out there, I said, Marlon, I'm going out to L.A. and I'm gonna do stand up before I come back home to finish high school.
You was 15.
I was not. I started stand up at 17 years old. So that
You don't lie about your age so much, nigga.
Dude, I'm
How
telling
old
you.
are
Before
you?
you say anything, prepare to shut
like I
the
said,
fuck
I
up.
started at 17 years old. So that's when
Just read my
started
book.
out in L.A. and I had to come back and finish a half a year of high school because I had gotten left back that half a year.
All right, so what
Then
year
when
Why?
I
How
finished-
come?
Guys, I
Because I
feel
was
like we can
fucking
get
stupid.
past this.
What
Bob.
year was I'm
You
gonna
were
get sucker
stupid?
done?
I was stupid. I was running with the wrong crowd. I was.
You talking about the guys that used to cross the train tracks with?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah.
You talking about the ones that you used to steal cars with? Yeah, that one.
well, I didn't.
Did
steal
you steal cars?
I didn't steal
Oh,
cars.
is
but I was
it
a
the
passenger.
crowd that you would hold the guy's gun when he didn't want to be found with it?
Well, not like that. I held this gun because I was just holding the gun.
Nah,
but
okay.
I wasn't
That
like,
crowd.
shooting it.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
that fucking
Okay.
What high school did you guys go to?
humanities.
I went to performing arts.
Well,
I took a
look
right
at you.
turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to talk about the right crowd.
You know, my father didn't want me to go to performing arts because he's Joe Witness and he was kind of a homophobe and he thought that everybody in performing arts high school was gay.
He has a good point, and
Yeah.
he does make a
Look, 96% of them probably.
99%.
Come on, I can't be 1 to 1%, 1 to 3%. Sure,
We're still not.
He still watches Glee,
Sure.
and it's like, see, this is that shit I tried to watch.
Glee is a good show.
See, that's why
shit
you
is
say
true. That shit is true.
That shit is true now.
That's why you say that. You say Glee's a good show because of that school you went to.
That shit is true. That shit is true.
All right, so you came out here, and then I guess all right. So you guys really came out in like later into In Living Color, right?
No, I was already out here.
I was in college.
After I went back to New York, after I did my stand-up, I finished high school, and I was doing stand-up every night while I was there.
Wait, Sean finished in high school. It was one of the hardest things in the world.
It was hard.
We had this fucking payphone that was across the street from my house, like diagonally. I could see him. He would go out, and I could see him calling California Collect. My brother Keenan had this hotline, like, yo, you have any problems, call me Collect. Sean would leave my house when my mom got on his nerves. He would go to the payphone, and he'd be on the phone talking to Keenan for hours.
Yeah.
And he'd come back upstairs. He'd leave crying and come back home with a different resolve, like, I got 6 more months. You would think he was doing a bid. He'd be in the back room doing push-ups and shit.
There'd be Rocky music.
Marlon.
Rising up, back up my feet. Took my chances.
Marlon, get the fuck up off the top bunk, bitch. We'd be on the roof, racing on the gravel like
just
Rocky
to get
and
like
Apollo.
a fucking social studies.
Just to get
not get a GED.
It's me, Keenan. You're gonna
I
make
could
it,
be
okay?
somebody. Well, because Keenan told him
I was going to drop out.
If you drop out,
I was going to drop out, and I had my whole plan. Keenan is like the fucking spoiler, but he's the best gift that we've ever had. But so he would every time I had a plan, he would talk me out of the shit with just plain straight up man knowledge.
now mind you, Sean had that kid plan. Like he didn't plan. It was just like
So I was going to drop out of school. There was this place that you could go to in New York City, a school that you could go to, and they would pay you to actually finish school.
Right.
They give you.
I actually believe school should be like
They
that.
get you a
anyway.
job.
I believe you should get money for good grades. If you get A's, you get
I had it all planned.
I
I would have
agree.
been making
Yeah.
money right off the bat.
like if you have kids.
Yes.
yeah.
Marlon, you got kids?
Yeah.
Just do that for your kids.
no,
wish we could.
listen, their school's expensive.
Thank
enough.
goodness you graduated
Fuck
from
that.
high school.
So Keenan told me, you know what? He said, that's how we.
Well, what would have happened if you hadn't graduated from high school? You would have
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. You guys
You'd be
are
the
movie
same
stars.
guy,
You guys are fucking
minus a
comedians and
diploma.
movie stars. It wouldn't have mattered.
No, you know what the difference is, though? And
I'm
this-
with that.
this-
I think that there's something dirtbaggy about not finishing high school. I mean,
it makes you
he's
feel
right.
bad.
You know
It
what
makes
he
you feel
said?
bad.
You know what he
Kinda
said?
like-
This was very important, and this made the difference in really who I am today. Is he said that if he's like, you're right, school's bullshit. You don't need it for what you're doing. You're gonna be a comedian. I have all the faith in you.
That's a very good Keenan
Sean
Ivan
said,
Wayans, by the way.
when am I ever going to use algebra?
He said, you're right. All that stuff is bullshit. But here's the reason why you go to school.
This is your brother has a voice box, which a lot of people don't realize. He's confined to a wheelchair. This is Keenan
sounds like
Ivan
the
Wayans.
guy from,
Hello, I
he
am
sounds like the
Keenan
guy from
Ivan
South
Wayans.
Park.
I'm your big brother. My name is Cleveland Ivory Wayans.
So he goes, here's the reason why you need to finish school. Because if you don't finish school, you'll never finish anything in life. That you'll always be a quitter.
I'm the most successful
Right.
retarded comedian.
That's the way.
For being learning disabled,
That's
I
right.
certainly did a good job.
Wait,
Look,
is this
I made it and I can't
producing.
is this
Raw.
Keenan? No, this is Corky from Life Goes On.
talk. So that's the way he talked. So anyway, he said that if you don't finish school, you'll go throughout life not finishing shit. And
I agree with. I mean,
that shit hit me
I'm,
like a ton
I'm
of
glad
bricks.
that you finished.
And
That's
I
a
was
good
like,
point.
you know what? Now I'm fucking fanatic.
When
about
did you start
finishing shit.
DJing on A Living Color?
Right after that. No, I'm kidding. Well, I moved to LA. I was there for 2 years,
and he was the
Living Color came on.
He was the executive assistant at Living Color.
On In Living Color, I was a PA
The executive PA.
on a pilot, parking in the producer's fucking spot. I did.
Sean was like Keenan's little brother, and he couldn't understand that. Like people with
you're not in
producer,
charge?
yeah. He was like, "Yo, fuck that.
That's my
Let
brother."
the producer, I'm parking next to Keenan. Let those motherfuckers park down
Deeper
there.
than that, all I seen was
on the B level.
No, deeper than that, all I seen was here was Keenan's car and here was Damon's car. I didn't even read the sign. There was an empty space in between. I was like,
Yeah, it's your brother's car.
My brother's car. I didn't know it was the fucking co-execs
Fuck all that. It's your brother.
I didn't know it was
I'm fucking in and you're fucking out.
So before everybody blew up, who was the funniest Wayne?
My mother's always been
Always
the
been the
funniest.
funniest.
Mom.
Yeah.
I love that. That's what you want the answer to be, right? That it trickled down through the whole family.
Actually, my mother.
Yeah.
I'd say my dead brother because he was funny.
I was
going
gonna guess that.
He was
Yeah.
just crazy.
Well, you know,
crazy people.
he was a real contender.
Yeah. He was just crazy. He was funny when he was trying not to be funny, and the minute he
How did
tried
he
to
die?
be funny, just light
one of the
killed
funniest
him.
ways you can possibly pass.
AIDS? Did he die of AIDS?
Hysterical.
AIDS is the funniest way.
He did die of AIDS.
What if they were making this brother up?
No, that is a funny. I mean, if you're gonna, it is literally the
gotta go
funny.
out.
I know that's a fucking.
gotta
That's
go out
not
like
the
that.
funniest way you can die.
No, it's
it's
not.
in terms.
There are
it's-
much
it's
funnier
so
ways.
fucking gruesome that it is the funniest. way
It's
you
pretty
can die.
fucked up.
It's
There
the
are many
saddest
funnier
thing that
ways.
could happen
Because they had this
because
tube in
Like
his
you get hit by
They
a
had this
truck
tube in his
and-
throat.
You could
A
eat
banana
you could
truck.
be eating pussy and choke on pussy hair. That's much
No,
funnier
AIDS
than
is-
AIDS.
it's-
No, you
but
think
it-
AIDS beats it?
No. AIDS is great because it's short.
It is not
It's a
short.
box-
short but long.
What the hell are you talking
Short.
about?
AIDS. How do you
But
die?
it's long.
AIDS. Next question.
no suffering.
It's short but long.
Short.
Like when you're dying in that last 2 weeks,
Being
it
set
seems
on-
like fucking 2,500 years.
Neil,
The
being set
last
on
2
fire
weeks.
is nice because it's painless.
No. One syllable. I'm saying
the
to
thing.
say,
Oh, just to
how did
say
he
it.
die? AIDS.
When he
Oh,
had
that
the-
is nice. You're
It's
right. That has a nice lilt to it. Yeah.
AIDS.
Yeah.
Okay, you're right. It is
It's
funny.
Yeah.
That's right.
And all right. So then you could. All right. So then when were you? What were you doing?
I was in college.
Where'd you go to college?
I went to Howard University.
I went
did you
there.
really?
I went
For how
there.
Yeah,
long?
because I thought I wanted to be around my people, and then I realized
That's where I
that
went to school.
Them niggas hated me. I went to Howard University, and I was in Living Color's little brother, and
Yeah.
the professors would be given a class, and they'd be going, see, what we're going to do in this class, we're going to talk about dignity, unlike that show in Living Color, which is a minstrel show.
And you'd be sitting
and he'd
there?
be looking dead at me. And then after class, he would give me a script and go, hey, man, get this over to your brothers, man. I really think that this could change Hollywood.
That's hilarious. And it was like a horrible, self-serious.
They hated me. They hated
How long you last?
I did
2 years.
It was like a bit.
I know.
I was up in HU like 2 years.
Well, it's a different world.
Up in my commissary.
93, 94?
90 through 92.
This is it. Anthony Anderson has been on the show before.
Yeah.
He went to Howard.
Now, Anthony was there when I was there.
Puffy. I don't know if you know
Puffy was there when I was there.
Puffy's never been on the show.
Yeah, Puffy's there.
All right, so then you come out.
And then I left. What happened was I kept auditioning for roles, and I would get them. And then I was just like this Hollywood kid. Like I'm going back
big
to school.
roles?
Yeah, I got
He
a role.
he got Robin.
I got a role in Juice. I got a role in another movie, Fallen Sons. I got.
Then
like,
they're gonna. You got a pilot
I got like
for Eddie
four-
Murphy
I got a
Productions.
pilot,
the
and I was just
barbershop.
like, you know
Just
what?
on some, just straight up going in.
I would go in audition. I was killing auditions. Like my success rate in auditions was like 99%, and I would turn them down to go back to school because I felt like that's not the role for me. And then I got the opportunity to audition for more.
What
money.
roles do you turn down?
I forget.
You
does
turned down-
everything
did you
now.
Did you turn down Juice?
I turned down everything. Like Juice.
Why were you going in on audition?
Dude who knows what's
Because
up.
he just liked to
Because
get people excited, and then
I went to
have
performing
them
arts
love
high
him, and then
school.
go,
Just to
I'm
pump
going
yourself
back to
up?
school.
No, I went to performing arts high
Thanks,
school,
Whitey.
and I thought it was something I wanted to do, and I was just like, you know what? At the end of the day, it's not worth me leaving school and leaving my education for. So I went back down to Howard
He
University.
just wanted that story, you know, like.
And then what happened was I got
why I am better than everyone in the world.
exactly.
sound effects coming from.
This fucking crazy dude. After that, I fucking went to. I got the audition for Mo Money,
Right.
and my brother Damon said, "I want Kadeem Hardison, but if you could come in and blow my socks off."
funnier than Kadeem.
He said, "If you could be funnier
To get
than
David
Kadeem,
Wayans.
yeah, if you
You
could
guys
be."
do some of the best Wayans Brothers impressions.
You know
We
what?
should.
It's
He
a
was in our
stretch.
And let me say, while we're on the subject of the impressions, Sean, you're Chris Rock on the VMAs.
Yeah, I do Chris Rock.
One of the best VMA.
You gotta hear his Chappelle.
and I can do Chappelle, man. It's crazy. It's crazy.
You know what's funny is Chappelle impressions make me uncomfortable
Why is that?
because he
You feel
doesn't
like he's here
talk
watching you.
like that in real. Like I never hear. Dave has a performance.
Well, Chappelle talks much slower in person
exactly.
when you talk to
Does
him.
that make you feel more
Nick,
comfortable?
Nick.
Stop dropping my name, man.
That's a white guy.
No, on stage he has this persona.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I
Sean does
only
some of
know
the best
offstage
impressions of some of the most obscure people
I do
you've
obscure
ever met.
folks.
It's crazy. He does my father like. We took the plane today, right? And Bill Cosby was on a plane. I was
Right.
like, "Yo, Sean, let's go over and talk to Bill, man." And Sean said,
He hates you.
"Fucking hates you."
He hates you.
He's my
If
co-pilot.
he chastised Eddie Murphy, all we did from what Eddie had done in Raw was take it even further and crazy.
South.
He doesn't want to.
Yeah.
He don't want to meet you.
Do the senseless line.
Did you not say hello?
The boy did a film titled Senseless. I don't want to talk to no one that doesn't have a brain in the beginning of the title of his film. We was going on for hours there about how Bill Cosby didn't want to meet us.
He doesn't want to meet you.
Yeah, he hates everything me and him stand for. Wayans Brothers. I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Do you know that?
NAACP
Do you know that he? Do you know?
against you don't spell I'ma get you. I'm You just don't do it.
You make a good
do
point.
you guys know for a fact that he doesn't like the Wayans Brothers? Or
No.
you just
No, I
assume
just
based
figured
on
so.
Eddie that if I agree with you.
What if he had
figured
surprised you and you walked up and been like,
I did the math. Like, I figured that, like, if
I'll
he
say
doesn't
for the record that I've never been a Bill Cosby fan. And,
you know what? Listen, you know how. Listen,
time out.
I'm not
disagree.
defending.
Listen, you know how
I never liked the show.
You know how you know?
I have to disagree.
Mom, you know how you know that I know how evil Hitler was back in the day with Jewish people, and how you know that he would do the same thing.
This is a bold
to
statement
black
you're
folk.
making.
No, I'm
No, this
telling
is-
the
this
truth.
is-
I'm telling the truth. That how you know when you look at something and you go, that motherfucker was a rotten evil bastard, and if we was around, we would have been the same thing. We would have had the same fucking problem.
that Bill Cosby is Hitler in this announcement.
Bill Cosby is the Hitler of
Cosby.
black comedy.
If he hated Eddie, he's gonna fucking hate us.
Have you ever talked to Eddie about that?
No.
I've actually have. I don't. I'm
Here's
not
the
going
thing. I will say this.
I'll
listen.
tell you why I don't like Bill Cosby.
Okay, and I'll tell you why I do.
Okay. I find him smug, and I find him superior. And I literally, every episode, I read an essay about him in college because I was like, why don't I like this show? It's so popular. And the essay was basically like, every episode of the show was the kid would have a dream, and then Bill Cosby would insult them until they were done. He's a great performer, but as a writer, he never impressed me. Eddie also made a really good point about the difference between Pryor and Cosby, which is people are going to remember Richard Pryor, Live in Sunset Strip, all that shit forever. No one's going to remember Rudy flushing her fish down the toilet.
Okay.
What, himself?
Actually,
No way.
I listen.
Carl
As
not
Garcia
true.
remembers.
It wasn't until I
everything
started doing
Bill
stand-up
Cosby did.
do I really appreciate Bill Cosby.
Yeah.
Bill Cosby as a stand-up is probably one of the most underrated comedians.
He's not underrated. People love him.
Yeah, people do love him.
The dude is brilliant, and it's not because he could. What's beautiful about Cosby, he could sit there with the damn microphone on his lap, and then he starts animating, and you go, "Oh shit." And he's animating within telling a story, and it builds to a fucking climax where he has a great punchline, and he's so animated and lovable on that stage, yet so centered by sitting there in a chair and telling his jokes. And what's brilliant about him, if you watch all of his specials, like the dude is fucking an amazing comedian, and he can still to this day do 2.5 hours and have people fucking cracking up at 70 something, close to 80 years old. And then Cosby's just very smart about his comedy. And yes, he is superior, and yes, he does
is
play
pompous.
He's
All
not
that.
good for blue collar
But he made
people.
Fat Albert.
I'm from the blue
And I
collar,
love him for
so
that.
part of me was like, fuck Bill Cosby.
Did you like the sitcom?
I love the sitcom.
Yeah, the sitcom's great. And he
Because
made
the
himself
sitcom was
too.
everything I wish I could be.
Himself is one of the most famous specials.
I'm more of a
literally
good times nigga, to tell you the truth, but I
tell me about it.
appreciate
Listen,
what he was trying, what he did.
I know that he doesn't like us, but I still love him.
All right, so then you come out and... So
No.
that's interesting
So
that you were, because that was one of my questions was, what would your lives be like if you didn't have Keenan and Damon?
You make a good point.
I'd probably still be doing this.
You think so?
We'd be
Because
homeless.
I was thinking, like, what
Not-
would
not
I?
a-
Because the analogy is, what would my career be like with that date?
I wouldn't be
think-
as knowledgeable
I think I would be.
or as successful, but I think I would be doing this. I'd be some struggling actor on Broadway somewhere, or some struggling fucking comedian artist. tying
You would
his-
still be in high school.
tying his dick in a knot.
I'd still be in high school.
Yeah, man, that would be a rough one.
Doing stand up.
doing fucking air balloons, like animal balloons, with my dick somewhere.
Watching
in
Keenan
fucking
do it
Washington
and
Square
Damon
Park.
do it, and just being able to talk to them,
Seeing them
was
be
so
successful,
powerful.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right, it's even different than you and Dave because it's like in your family you're looking at the people that are directly.
No,
Not
I
only
know.
looking, but
I
you're
know.
following the footprints. Like he literally, there's footprints, and you go,
You're wearing
wow.
your clothes.
That's
Fuck
what
the
I'm
dumb
curious
shit.
about. And I think most people are curious about, like, how, was it just expected? Was it just a thing that kind of happened in the family? I mean, it's not intuitive to just everyone in the family because you guys are like the Kennedys. How
Kinda.
That's a lot of
how was
pressure.
the decision made?
None of us got shot in the face yet.
One of y'all got AIDS though.
Yeah, one of us got
Close.
That was special.
All right.
I mean,
We started
AIDS.
somewhere.
We just slapped on
Started
AIDS. By the way,
high five.
No, but I'm serious. Like, what? I mean, was it just expected when Keenan started to blow up that you guys would fall in the foot? I mean, how did it?
It wasn't expected. We
was
watched
infection.
him, and like it's such a powerful thing. Like to have that, to see somebody get out of a house full of roaches in the projects and do something bigger than just a regular 9-to-5 job. Like this, he went on to do some courage. That was like.
I'm gonna get you, sucker, and Raw and Hollywood Shuffle are fucking good.
Classic.
Yeah, they're
like,
great.
That's the thing is it's like they were making. He was doing, but the thing that I always say is like there was no fucking roadmap for Robert and Keenan, and Eddie. Those guys, like
they were the
Pryor
pioneers.
did horrible movies.
They were the
He did do
49ers.
horrible movies.
Like,
Pryor did fucking horrible movies.
Yeah,
he was a great comic.
Yes.
Movies were terrible. He had a sitcom on. He had a show on for 6 episodes.
Yes.
Well, let me ask you guys a question I've asked on the podcast before. You guys are huge Eddie Murphy fans.
Yeah.
What do you think? I don't. Without even talking shit, like, what do you think has happened to his movie choices in the last 20 years?
Here's the difference and between the movie choices of the last 20 years and now. One, back when Eddie just came out, he was actually getting good movie parts with good directors, with good scripts.
Good scripts.
So
They don't develop material like
he
they
had
used to
the
in
machine
Hollywood.
working for him.
He also wasn't doing comedies.
He would take dramas
and 48
and be
hours
funny
not
in them.
comedies.
Yeah. He would take the
They're not
dramatic
classic.
structure.
They're not
They're
full
not.
comedies.
No, they're not written as
here's what-
comedies.
here's what-
Beverly Hills Cop is.
No. Here's what Eddie would do.
It was for Sylvester
Stallone.
But
what
Trading
he
Places-
did was he would take and go, here's the dramatics of the movie. Now here's where I could be funny.
Yes.
And he
Right.
was Bugs
Yeah.
Bunny.
There's
in all
also
those
the movie.
situations.
Also, the movies he made himself were so great.
But to be honest with you, it didn't matter. It just, like I said, he, up to, like, let's see, Coming to America, which he wrote
Yeah.
along
Which is
with
fucking
a couple
brilliant.
of guys. What else?
Blaustein and Sheffield, yeah.
Like I said, his material was better. If you put Eddie
Look,
Murphy,
Norbit, he had some funny stuff he did in Norbit. If Eddie wants to be, I think Eddie. What happened with Eddie is this: it's very simple. It's Sean's right. It's the material, and 2, it's the choice.
Yeah.
Right. Eddie chooses to work and really ground it.
Right.
Eddie's always better when he grounds himself.
Yeah.
See, when he right now he's stuck in the streck and he's stuck in the donkey.
Yeah.
It's everything. And at a point, he just needs to do that thing where it has him play his subtleties again.
Right.
And then he can go a 0 to 160 and play every note in between.
Yeah,
And
right.
Eddie Murphy's
There's nobody better when he's
the
like-
most appropriate
Yeah.
comedian ever. I watch Eddie going, wow, how appropriate. In this moment,
mean his choices?
He played, he played the beats.
He deserves an Oscar.
So
He deserved one for Nutty Professor.
That's a
I'm
quote
so
from
mad he
me
did
on
not
this
get
show.
one.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
saying
does
that
deserve
to
it.
Moshe about Nutty
Yes.
Professor.
So we're now in what 1994 or something in Living
We're
Color.
in 1990, and
Yeah.
I just got more money, and then I went and did it, and
And so Damon was like, "I want Kadeem Hardison, but if you can beat him, beat him."
then Kadeem passed, and then he said, and then it was between me and Claude Brooks, and he was like,
I don't know who that is.
I don't either.
"You don't know Claude Brooks?
No, I ought to.
He
like-
looks like my brother Damon if someone took and beat him upside the head and made his ears
He
really,
looked like- he
really
looked like-
and
low.
he's kind of fat.
he looks
Yeah.
like
All right, I
Damon
do
with
know who
cerebral palsy.
All right, so you do that, and how many days did you do on that?
I did the whole movie.
Are you in the? It's a two-hander basically.
Two-hander, buddy comedy. And so after that, I went back to college because my brother stopped paying for my college because I got a 1.6.
Keenan, stop paying.
You can
Yeah.
do this for free.
Yeah, he's like, that
don't have to
conversation
pay
I had
for this.
about finishing stuff. Don't worry about
How
that.
much money did you get for?
Fuck what I told Sean. Drop out of school.
I can't afford it. Drop out.
You paying for your own classes.
Wait, Keenan, what about that conversation? It does not apply to
It
you.
don't apply to you.
And so I had to pay for my own school, and then I got a 3.6. And after
How
I got
much money did you make for Mo Money?
50 grand.
I love first movies.
Yeah,
50
first
grand.
movies.
I paid
It's
for
like
my
Eddie.
school.
You know how much Eddie made for 48 hours?
What?
95 grand.
Wow.
It's crazy.
And he said it was the best
them
summer of his
greenbacks.
life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like it was the fucking
bet.
best. Yeah. So
Plus, he was making his money on the road back then.
yeah, exactly. So then the movie came out and did pretty good, right?
Yeah, but I had left school, and because I felt like now's my time. Once the movie came out, I got my 3.6 in school. I went back, I got 3.6.
I like that you're using that as like I got my 3.6.
No, but he was saying
I had the
no, it
movie
is-
out and I did have the 3.6.
No,
Because I paid
interesting
$9
because he
grand. I
started-
was like, fuck
I'm not
that.
as dumb as
As
everybody
soon
thought I was.
as soon as he started paying for his own school, he got a 3C. He went up 2 points. That's really speaks to what's
It's
happening.
fucked up, ain't
it? Makes sense.
And then I left and moved to California. And after that, me and Shawn, man, it's a long. Like, if you want to know, there's so much heartbreak.
So we
in
was
our
on-
road. It's crazy.
To go, but that's because all people know are like
It's so much
Well, that's
heartbreak.
what I wanted to talk about. Was we can play the career highlight, career low, high point, low point.
So many low points.
So
Yeah,
we
but
was
just
on
take us
11
through the
color.
low.
All right,
So
so
go-
I'm on 11 color. Then
I move out to California.
Maul moves
I
out
get
to
an
California.
apartment in the building that Shawn's in, the Ritz Apartments.
first you stay with me.
No, I immediately got an apartment.
Oh no, first you stayed with me.
Did I?
Yeah.
Damn, I forgot that.
Yeah, and then you got your apartment.
I
and then
think you
was
said
like,
get the fuck out.
no, you got your own place
In a nice
and
way.
then we were neighbors. So then he joins the cast of In Living Color.
Yeah.
Nobody
And-
will write for us. They hate us because we're Keenan.
Oh, because of nepotism, the feeling of nepotism.
They really hate Keenan because Keenan worked the fuck
And
out
they
of
hate
him.
us more because
Was
we're
Keenan
not
still
as
there?
talented as Keenan and David.
Yeah, Keenan was still
Keenan
there.
was still running the show.
Also,
Your
there were
sister
a
was
lot-
on the show
there
too,
were
right?
a lot of mouths
So it's
to feed
just
on that
everybody's.
show, man.
Yeah.
All Wayans.
There
Like
was.
as much as you guys complain about writing, it's like so. I'm a writer. I can write for Jim Carrey, Damon Wayans, fucking
Jamie
David
Foxx.
Allen
David Allen
Greer,
Greer,
Tommy Davidson, Jamie Foxx. Fuck you guys. How about that?
That's exactly what it
and
was.
that's where Don't Be a Menace came from.
But not
okay.
even that. But what we used to
that
do
was I'll fuck you back.
me and Shawn used to spend the night. My brother was like, if you guys want sketches, you got to write them. So the reality was, we started writing sketches, and we would stay In Living Color till 5, 6 in the morning.
So you start seeing
writing.
Snuff and Rome, the Def Jam comedy sketch. That was actually the
That
first
was
sketch
great.
we wrote.
That's a great
audience.
sketch.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the first sketch we
That's a
wrote.
hilarious sketch. Who were you guys the most?
Actually, Snuff and Rome was the first one we wrote. Def Jam was the second one we wrote. Mr. Ugly Man Shaba was the third one that we wrote.
Who were you the most in awe of on the cast besides somebody you were related to? Who blew you away the most?
Jennifer
Jim.
Lopez. Fuck yeah.
Besides her ass.
Jim, Kelly, and
Damon and Kim,
David, fucking Alan Greer.
David
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
hilarious.
David's a funny.
Jamie
dude.
was really
He's been
funny
on
too,
there,
but
yeah.
it just Jamie was new.
David was like
Right.
David and Jim was like watching TV. You just go up there and you throw a topic
God,
out,
those
and they would
fucking guys was just
they would
so-
just perform. Me and Shawn was kids, kind of sitting there watching those
Yeah.
guys just perform and create and
Yeah,
just.
David
be
Allen
in the
Greer
jello.
has like 1,000 moves.
He's
Where you're like,
so
wait, what?
sick.
He's so
like you
good.
you can do that,
Right.
too?
So
Like he has a
good.
lot of shit he can
watching him and Damon one up each other in their
Men on film.
films. Like what people didn't see
Right.
was the
They had
the
a little
competition
thing between them.
between the two.
They was always surprising each other.
Yes.
Right.
You know, little hats and fans.
Yeah.
Little shit.
Oh, they didn't know what each other would
It was
look
like
like.
gay
That's
surprise.
hilarious.
Yes.
That's funny. They would go back to your old
And
neighborhood
little
and grab
lines, and it was fun just watching those guys. It was like school for us.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know? And then from there,
that we finished.
Keenan,
So you started getting a couple things on,
Yeah. And then Keenan left.
right? And you guys stayed. Or you,
I came on the Titanic as it was sinking.
Right.
Keenan left the year I came on. We finally started getting sketches, and Keenan goes, "I'm not doing this no more."
I'm not doing this anymore.
They're ruining the
Yeah,
show.
that's his wheelchair.
I'm going to write a book about the cosmos.
They ruined the show. They strip binded the show and sold it in syndication.
And so, we all cried, and then we all left the show.
It's an episode of A Living Color. If you anybody out there watching or listening to the podcast,
It's a Christmas episode.
It's a Christmas episode, and
Jamie
at the
Foxx
end of
is
the,
singing.
At the end of the show, you'll see me.
Wait, Jamie Foxx is singing
This Christmas.
This Christmas by Donny Hathaway by the piano.
And me, Kim, Jim, and David,
And me.
and Kelly. I don't know if Jim was, but me, David, Kim, Kelly, and Marlon are all wearing shades, and we're not smiling, we're not moving, we
hilarious.
ain't doing nothing. We just in protest,
That's intense.
like fuck you. I don't know who the fuck we were saying. Fuck you, Whitey. which
Right.
is not white people, but the white man.
But was it?
We were saying,
no, we were
"Fuck
okay
you,
with
Rupert
that.
Murdoch."
Yeah.
We're okay with that. But
Yeah.
no,
Then we realized he don't give a fuck about us.
I don't know the history.
Fucking
I'm
bounce
sure
right
you
off
do,
him.
Neal. But I think for the listener, I don't know the history. What was it that happened?
What happened was they basically started a cable network
FX.
using episodes of In Living Color before In Living Color
And not only that, but-
hit syndication.
They were
every time
if they had syndicated In Living Color on the syndication market,
They were fucking
it would
with
have
Keenan's
gotten
money,
1.5. It would have gotten $900,000
Yeah.
an episode, but Fox sold it to
back to
FX for
themselves.
like $150,000.
They sold it back to themselves.
And now-
So
And
Keenan left
was
in
like,
protest.
Wait a minute, you're literally taking hundreds of thousands of dollars out of my pocket. And lining yourselves with, and he was like, and they were like, no, this is what we're gonna do. So he was like, all right, fucking, I'll leave.
So he left in protest.
Yeah, he
Yes.
left.
But not only that, but they would every time a show was canceled on Fox, they would start showing In Living Color.
Yeah.
to take its place. So it became like it basically. Remember what they did to ABC did with Millionaire?
Yep.
That's what was happening to Living Color.
Yeah.
Keenan was just like, you know what, I'm not dealing with this, and so he left, and we all left too. And
Every Wayans left.
everyone's left.
Wow.
And they were offering money that
that make
made
you go, maybe I should be a Wayne.
Now,
Make you go,
Keenan,
fuck my
sure,
brother, fuck my family.
Damon did a couple episodes, right?
No, and they offered Damon, I think it was like $75,000 or
Damon did
$150,000 a sketch.
Here's what happened. Damon had went back during that time before Keenan had left. So Damon had already left the show.
Right
during that time, and then they paid him to come back to do a couple of episodes while Keenan was still on. Once Keenan left, Damon left.
Got
We
it.
all
So
left.
you all left in solidarity?
Yes,
You guys are a good family, huh?
We're
Yeah.
we're a family.
You guys are tight. That's so crazy.
You're an actual family.
Think about how tempted you would be to rip your family to shreds.
Here's
Like,
the thing.
yeah.
Here's the crazy part is when we left In Living Color. This is how much we love each other. When we left in Living Color, I had $900 in the bank, and my rent was $1,000.
But I took care of him for
And you
a
had
couple
been-
of months with
With your GED
His
money.
road money,
I was
and then
going
I got
road
above the rim,
money.
and so I started paying his rent.
Right.
And so,
Oh, all right. So you guys, you knew Tupac got an assault beef in the Living Color parking lot. Remember
yeah,
he beat
that
up
was-
Albert
yeah.
Hughes.
that was one of the things. And
Yeah.
then when we
You
was doing
guys
Above the
knew
Rim,
Tupac,
I
right?
knew
We
Tupac.
met him. Yes.
I knew Tupac well.
No, you knew him.
I
though.
did Above the Rim with him. He got arrested 2 times during that
What's
movie.
what's your take on Tupac?
I used to call Pac. Pac is a leader that followed. Pac wasn't a gangster. Pac was just a really good actor.
Right.
He wasn't a gangster. You don't have no gangsters.
take the doors off.
No gangsters have eyelashes like that. I've never met a gangster with such. This nigga's hands were so soft. I called him a Palmolive thug. I was like, you could do Palmolive commercials with your fucking soft hands.
That's
It's like,
hilarious.
You're not thug.
That's a hilarious idea that he walks in. They're like, "Oh, this is Pac. What's up?"
He's
And
got
then they
the
look
most-
closer, and
that's
his
why
eyes are like,
girl-
"Oh, this fool is moist." No,
Yeah, no, his eyelashes.
You can't.
Niggas
Girls,
eyelash.
yeah, he's like
eyelashes like
wore mascara.
snuffleupagus. It was just like
That's
you were
hilarious.
Not hardcore, dude.
And he's bipolar. We can agree on that.
No, he was bi-high. He was high polar. This fucker smoked so much weed, he had like 15 different
But
personalities.
it is true. I mean, the point is like if you act like a thug long enough, you will become a thug. If you are inflammatory, you'll get killed. I mean, like
Sometimes
eventually something horrible will happen.
The scaredest person in the room is the
100%.
most hardcore thug because they're trying to do anything to impress you.
Yeah.
And that's what Pac was. Pac was, yo, the niggas, look at I'm going to walk over and punch him in his face. And he'd go over and punch the dude in his face.
Right.
Not knowing that.
And he was trying to impress like everybody, kind of.
The world.
Yeah, man. But what was cool when he was with me, and if you watch our Above the Rim interviews, we could just laugh. Me, him, and Omar
Right.
hung out a lot. He would just laugh. There was no thug. He was just a silly performing arts high school
Maybe when
kid.
he-
Like, nigga, put on some tights and let's tell some
Tell him
jokes.
about how he got so high.
One time
later.
we was doing Above the Rim, Pac was in his dressing room. First of all, when he was in his dressing room, man was a very hard worker. Pac would, when we left the set, he would go to the studio and do songs and smoke weed all day, and then he would go to the studio, do
Sexually
songs.
assault women.
Sexually assault women, do songs,
Right after
shoot
that.
at cops, and then
he shot.
Yeah, that's
shoot out
my
with
nigga.
cops.
He's awesome.
And so he would he would leave the set, get high as fuck, and then he would he would let us listen to the song he did. He had
Right.
4 songs that he would let me hear, like Out on Bail, Thug Life Will Never Fail, Running from the Police. That's right, unreleased songs
Right.
that y'all probably hear now, but
Right.
that you think he's doing from heaven, but he actually did them before. And so then he would. go in his trailer and he'd get high. And I was right next door, so I would get a fucking contact high because it was so much fucking weed. So then he came to the set one day. He came to the set one day and he goes, "Yo, I'm not getting in this fucking Range Rover unless you take the doors off." He's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Ain't no fucking real niggas don't get on the Range Rovers with the doors off, nigga. In case niggas is shooting, we gotta get the fuck out and stop raising up on niggas." And the director's like, "What do you mean? I'm not coming out my trailer till the doors is off the fucking Range Rover."
What is he even talking about a Range Rover that's in the movie?
I was so high from a contact high, I was like, "You're right. They should take the doors off. Why they ever fucking put doors on a Range Rover in the first place?"
You know where they take them off? African safaris. That's the only place that they take them off.
What the hell was he talking about?
He was high.
He smoked some safari.
And it's that Brooklyn dirt weed. That shit that you smoke underneath the project fucking doorways and shit.
All right, so then you sort of like muddle through. All right, so
while we're doing that,
after you do above the rim, you're muddling through.
I'm doing above the rim. All right, we collected a bunch of jokes for Don't Be a Menace.
We came up with the concept to do Don't Be a Menace.
Right.
We started actually outlining it, and then he got above the rim.
And so I went to do above the rim, and he wrote the first draft for Don't Be a Menace.
Oh, cool.
And I read the first draft, Don't Be a Menace. I mean, it was fucking crazy.
That shit was so
the water skiing. He had a scene in there where the guy gets shot, and there's so much blood in the house that the house fills up with blood, and there's a shark in there, and somebody's jet skiing on the blood. And so we start doing rewrites when I get back, and Keenan makes us do
like 30 drafts,
37 drafts,
which seems just like some older brother shit, but is actually
it was perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, he knows what he's doing. That's why, and we trusted him. It just was really difficult.
Yeah, and nobody understands. Like when you go through this process, it's just like it really concretes what the journey of a writer is. Right. You're not a writer until you can fucking rewrite.
Here's the kicker. So we rewrite it. We do all that. We send it out. Everyone's scared of the movie. No one wants to do it.
They think it's hilarious, but they go,
"It's offensive
it's
or what?"
Offensive.
Yeah. It's like,
I'm scared to do it.
I'm black. How the fuck are you gonna tell me?
Yeah.
I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
Right.
But anyway, so we had to deal with a lot of that shit. Finally, my manager finds a studio that wants to do it.
Island Pictures.
Right.
Actually, it's a guy. Island Pictures.
Mark Berg.
Yep. And
someone Blackwell.
and Chris Blackwell.
Yeah.
Chris Blackwell was Bob Marley's manager.
Yeah.
Shitload of
Chris,
money.
but he has a lot of money.
I
Chris
love
Blackwell.
him because
And
he
I
was the
love him.
guy.
And
We sat in a
he
room.
owns Jamaica.
We sat in a room and he said, "We're going to do it."
Great.
So we do it, and the director fucks the movie up.
And you couldn't tell from the dailies.
I could tell.
You can tell.
I wrote
It
it,
was
and
on
I never
scene.
shot a movie in my
That's
life.
a bad feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
That's what me and Dave went through on Half Baked, where we were like, we literally walk onto the set,
Yes.
and I go, "I didn't think it was going to look like this."
Yes.
Did you? And he
It's
goes-
not what
he goes,
I
didn't think it was going to look like this at
imagined.
all.
So for the
Yes.
listeners, what the dailies are is
Everybody knows dailies.
Oh, they do? I don't.
Yeah.
I think you're vastly overestimating.
It's the footage from the day that you shot that you filmmakers look at to see if your movie is fucking actually on the screen.
We had this one scene. Listen, we had this one scene. I'll explain to you how fucked up it was. But this
Who
one
was the
scene-
director?
I can't really.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
I mean, the director is the director.
He
Isn't
wound up winning an Emmy later on in life.
He actually
great dramatic director. Stay the
Just
fuck away
not
from
good with
comedy.
comedy. Yeah.
Stay the fuck away from comedy. So there's this one scene where the kids are on Dashiki's hair and they're swinging around like an amusement park. Okay,
Right.
And so she's just supposed to be in the middle, and they're supposed to be holding on to her hair.
You reveal,
Like
you pull
the
out,
t-
and it's
Right.
a fucking.
You
ride.
see what this is,
She
yeah.
did
The
ride in the
director-
weave, the weavable, whatever the
Right.
fuck it is.
like the teacups. The director had this
The weave
bitch
cup.
over in the corner doing this, just screaming and going. And me and Sean was like,
The director was laughing like that?
he was cracking up because the girl was just going, and we're like,
This is how
that's
we
not
shot
the
it.
fucking joke. The joke is she's spinning round and round, not
Right.
going. And Sean went to the bat phone and was like, "Yo, Keenan." This nigga found a payphone in the hood. It's always Sean by a payphone
with Keenan?
Yeah, getting on the bat phone.
Hello, this is Keenan.
Collect call from Sean.
He goes in tears.
I would always
Yeah.
call him, and he'd be like, "What's going on?" I'd be like, "Yo, Keen, this shit ain't funny, man. What's wrong? Yo, this ain't how I wrote it. You know, you remember the scene where the girl's supposed to, her hair's supposed to be the ride for the kids? You go, yeah. Well, how's he shooting it? Well, the kids ain't holding on to her hair. Where the fuck are the kids? I don't know. What's the girl doing? She's in the corner screaming. Like, okay, I'll be right there. I'm on my way down.
So the director finishes the movie, and he does his cut, and they test the movie. The movie scores like 25 points.
Yeah,
25.
Me
out
and
of
Vaughn,
100.
we're so depressed.
Sean's crying.
Yeah, I am.
Been there.
I fucking wrote so much. I put so much into this fucking
It's the
movie.
first cut that always makes me want to cry. Where you literally the first time I saw him, I literally I was in tears, and I called Chappelle Mike, and he's like, "What's the matter?" I'm like, "It's not good, man."
You fucking up my cry. I'm crying too.
Yeah.
Get off the phone.
So did Keenan endorse the cut that was going to get a 25, or that you had to give the director his cut?
We had to give him his cut.
All right.
So Keenan goes, don't worry about it. We'll fix it. We'll fix it, but here's what you got to do. You guys are going to have to do some rewrites.
38.
Fucking, we had to
that's
rewrite.
when we went to hell.
I've got a big problem.
We wrote a whole new movie in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How many reshoot days did you get?
We had
only
2 weeks.
We had 10 days.
How much of the original script made it to the final cut?
25%.
Yeah,
Wow.
25%.
Wow. The one that you handed this bad director.
Yeah. And we had
That's
some
crazy.
classic
Now, what made
shit.
everything that the grandmas breakdancing, Lope Dogg's interview, do we have a problem? Like all
the kid getting, the guy getting jumped in.
Yeah, all the classics. The
Lope
girl
Dogg getting his dick sucked at the end by the crackhead.
Oh, that's the best joke.
past
That's one
that
of the
shit
best
when
jokes.
the dude
Yeah.
smokes the weed and he dies and go past that
That's
shit.
all second draft.
The dude getting stomped
That's
into the
crazy.
ground.
We did all
so
that,
crazy.
and we
You're
did the
almost lucky
movie
that
in
the guy
10
fucked it up.
days.
in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Do you
It was
ever-
still going to be a classic,
Right.
great movie, but this made us elevate it. We took it to another level.
It really. That's when we said we can do anything. Like,
Right.
And
I
from
wasn't
there-
funny for 4 years after that because I done gave everything I ever had in my soul comedically to that movie.
But that movie made $12 million in a snowstorm in January of 1992. Was it?
Yeah, 94.
94. And, it was one of the hardest things we ever did, but honestly, it
Aside
just
from White
prepared
Chicks.
us for greater journey.
White Chicks Brutal?
The White Chicks was
What?
Oh yeah, how much
that was
makeup?
the
I'm
hardest.
surprised. We're not alive right now. You're talking to
about
our spirits. We died in Canada, dude.
Why? Because of the prosthetics or because
It
of
was 7
everything?
hours of makeup.
That sounds
Every day.
horrible.
every day.
day.
And we
Did you
pushed
guys?
out.
When did you guys realize? Well, all right, it's great. We're going to do this, and everyone's going. It's going to be a lot of makeup, and you guys are like, "No, fuck that."
Yeah, it's all good. Makeup.
That wasn't really only the hard part. The hard part was we waived our turnaround time.
So we slept. So we
supposed to be 12
Explain
hours.
that to
we was
people.
producing the movie.
Now people know.
And you get a 12-hour turnaround. And instead, we pushed our 12-hour turnaround as stars because
Here's the turnaround,
as
guys.
producers, we
Let me
need to make a budget.
Let me explain the turnaround thing is legally they can't work you past. You're supposed to get 12 hours off.
Yeah.
At least.
So you can get some rest.
Every
Get some
night.
rest as an actor. We waived that.
Right. So what happened was we put makeup on 7 hours, and then we worked 14 hours, which leaves 3 hours to sleep for
And you're
65
fucked
days.
up. You're not. It's not like good sleep because you're just thinking about the
And
movie.
3
the whole
hours of sleep
And
for 65 days.
We were shooting a movie that was supposed
Where
to
were
be
you in, like,
the-
Charlotte
the
or something?
No, it's supposed to be
in the
Hamptons.
summer. We're shooting in the dead winter in Vancouver, Canada,
We're black men playing white girls.
in skirts.
Right.
That sounds horrible.
where chasing the
we
girl.
had to lose, but
I
Sean
had to lose
lost
30 pounds.
I lost fucking 25.
Where? How?
8.
From AIDS.
One word. AIDS.
AIDS.
That hilarious disease.
Well, the funniest disease in the business,
Fucking
guys.
brother kissed me in the mouth before he passed.
I think it was 30, like below, the day that I was chasing the guy who stole my purse. I
Yeah.
was barefoot.
Fuck that. Remember the beach scene when he has in bikinis and shit? And it was, dude, y'all don't understand. Anybody says, like, I can do anything, dude. And, like,
Right.
I can literally fly if I had fucking wings. Like, even if I didn't. After the experiences that we've been through, it just doesn't.
And all right, so quickly talk about the Wayans Brothers show.
We hated.
Which part you want to talk
We
about?
hated the Wayans Brothers show the first 2 seasons.
Why?
To the point where we felt like we didn't deserve the money we were making. We
Why?
would spend
On
it
some
all.
of the episodes when they were really bad, we would go.
We
I'm
just spend the
spending
entire check.
all of the money. I'm spending the
So you
whole.
don't feel
we didn't
guilty
even
having
want
it?
$60,000. I'm spending it all.
Yeah.
Because
I don't want to die.
Because we hated that.
We hated
You know
it.
why? Because
who was in charge of it?
that's why we hated it. We had these
Can't say the
executive
name.
producers that, you know, it's like shit. We created the show. We knew what we wanted to do. We had our voices down. We wasn't really that experienced, but we knew what the fuck we wanted to do, and we needed to find someone who's going to be a partner and help us shape what we was trying to do, and not have us do what the fuck they wanted us to do. And that was the battle. And luckily, we had the support of the studio. Les Moonves was really a big fan. And what's his dude's name who's at MTV now? David John Laurie. They really supported our vision. And anybody that came in that didn't do what the fuck we asked them to do,
Jamie Kellner were good.
They would fire them.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So
that's rare.
Because at the end of the day, we was doing like for real. Like the first couple episodes, look, we were terrible. Like at acting wise, I was a cartoon.
What about you? You're Mr. Auditions. What the fuck were you talking about?
But we was trying to
I was
sell
so
bad material.
desperate trying to make people laugh that I didn't even care about playing the scene. I was just like, I'll suck my own dick
if we could get away with that
to get a laugh.
Every single scene, he's sucking his own dick.
Watch the first episode. Watch the whole first fucking season.
I think I actually saw. I think you guys said in an interview. I think it was one of you guys said the difference between TV acting and movie acting. It's like if you're in a movie close-up, you don't have to do that much.
No.
Whereas if you're in a
Less is
wide,
more.
but you're sort of contradicting that, which is even in a fucking multi-camera sitcom, you were still clucking your wings.
What you're saying in a bad way.
We're trying to sell bad material.
And I was if I had a watermelon
you
in
sell
my
out
hand,
the material. You sell on material, but you still needed to come. You needed to like make strides as actors.
We wasn't even thinking about that.
If you want
Put
to
it
get
this way,
racist about
the
it.
performances that we did though, it made the network and the studio go, hey, these guys are funny.
Right.
Their material is shit.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
get
So
them.
you were trying to make.
We outperformed the
turd
material,
polish.
but my sister used to tell me she come down to episodes and go, Naz, lay off.
Take your foot out your mouth,
Lay
baby.
off, because you're
Right.
doing. I was just, because the world's on your shoulders, and I'm just like, yo, I'm not gonna not be funny.
Because it was called the
Right.
Wayans Brothers, and it was like, you know what, yo, we just came off in Living Color. We're not gonna fuck up the family name,
Right.
Fuck that, yo. If this shit is gonna sink or swim based on what the fuck we want to do,
It was sinking.
and not what they are trying to get us to do. So,
were you on with Homeboys from Outer Space?
no.
Actually, we were Cosby compared to that show.
There was a show called Homeboys from Outer Space.
That was before
on
us.
the WB. All right, that was before
That
you.
was
What?
on with Malcolm and Eddie.
You were on with Malcolm and Eddie?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. What if the guys on Homos from Outer Space saw you on a plane and were like, let's go say hi? They hate us. They hate what we do.
Talk to no, but Malcolm and Eddie came later, and they were on UPN. So we were the WB's flagship show.
Got it.
Their first show.
Got it.
That started the WB.
So, you did your lowlights. What's the highlight?
All right, yeah.
We ain't done with
Well,
the
no. I want lowlights. Lowlights is way
Oh, but
more.
they-
interesting
no,
than
for
highlights.
sure. But do you-
so how did you get through the Wayans Brothers shit? You just got like
We kept firing people.
How many people did you? How many teams?
I would
did you-
stop.
It was bloody.
mad
It was a
man.
massacre in the writers' room. Just
There was a
pow.
shark in the blood.
It was
jet
like the
skis.
end of Godfather 2, where like the dude's getting a massage and getting shot in the eye.
I was a madman by the second season. I would stop rehearsing, and I would
Fire someone?
No, I would grab the writers.
Here's what we had.
and we would go rewrite the entire.
Will you explain?
show.
Because people would say
here's what
that's
we-
diva-ish behavior, but what they don't understand is you're fucking panicking.
Here's what we had. What we had was with me and him is a split atom, which is beautiful because he would go, stop this shit, we're going to fix it. And I would go, okay, let's keep moving with the shit that we got and let's try and make this as good as we can till we get the new pages in and then we'll fix that.
Right.
So what we did was we had a process that we would do. I would work the bullshit and he would write some new shit.
Right.
And so we would combine the two so that the directors knew what we were doing and we walk them through and stop shit and go, no, here's where the camera's going to be now. Sean's going to say this instead. We literally would do the rewrites and everything before block and tape on that day. Everybody's sitting there nervous. They go, well, that's their show. Let them ruin it. And we would ruin it to make it better every fucking week.
This is multi-cam?
And
Is that
it
right?
became
In front of a crowd.
really funny
multi-cam.
show by the time we got done doing what we
would do this
How many
before the
seasons?
crowd. So
Okay,
5
yeah.
o'clock and tape
Yeah.
Thursday.
And it got syndicated, right?
Yeah, it got syndicated
Over and over
They keep
again.
running it now.
Yeah, isn't that funny? There's so few good black shows that they're just like, I got
Put the Wayans
Wayans
Brothers on again.
It's
Yeah.
funny that it doesn't get picketed in syndication for some reason.
Yeah.
Did you
exactly.
Did you actually get picketed?
NAACP did.
Yeah, we
Did
had,
the NAACP
we got
pick it?
hated on. Yep, they hated on us. You know.
For what?
Cosby was writing us letters. I'm
For what?
disappointed in you.
You know, but once Kanye called it the NDRE Awards, it's like, all right, he kind of put him in their place. The NAACP Awards is kind of like,
yeah, but that was see. They were at
They
the
went
time.
after-
They had a different agenda and they had a different leadership. Like NAACP is cool now, but back then there was a different leadership and a different agenda, and they wanted to be
The agenda
producers
was
on
they
projects.
wanted to produce the black shows, or else they were going to picket them.
Oh, you think it was like a power? It was a power thing.
it's like
Hey.
a Maxine Waters thing.
Look,
Yeah.
I've seen a couple
Yeah.
of things on TV that didn't belong on there, and they were fucking with us. It's like, hey, shit.
What was their argument though? That it was like promoting some kind of negativity? Or,
Buffoonery and
Yeah,
all kind of
because we were
bullshit.
physical. And here's the thing about black comics. I believe black comics can be physical without being coons. I think we overuse that word. If Jim Carrey and
Right.
Charlie Chaplin and Douglas Fairbanks and Buster Keaton and those guys,
What do you feel about brothers wearing
if
dresses?
If they can exist, then
they did white girls.
I did white
No, I
chicks.
know.
Here's the thing.
That's what I-
You know how I feel about brothers being wearing
As
dresses?
long as you're
I do
funny.
comedy. Okay.
Right.
If it's funny, who gives a shit? But there's no vanity in comedy. Fuck you because you're too proud to be to lose your vanity to be funny. Fuck you.
It is interesting that only black comedians have the onus of of that the cooning on them. No white comic, no
You
Mexican
never
comic.
see white people going, Jim Carrey's a coon.
Right.
Yeah.
Like what is he
Never.
doing to our race? It's like why
Never.
can't I just be a comedian?
I know there's a lot of that.
But that's self-hate. That's
But we
we
broke a
talked
lot
about
of
that.
we broke a lot of those barriers.
We talked about
by
that on
doing
this
it
show.
smart and-
Why We Are Black.
And people love you. It's
Why do
not,
blacks
it's not
laugh?
like you've alienated yourself from a black crowd. People love you. I mean,
we love them back.
All right,
He ain't
and
even
then,
tripping.
And then Scary Movie. All right, so you did the Wayans Brothers, and then you did
might have
Scary
to go
Movie
for a part 2. For
But
that.
what? Yes, but that was
That's a whole nother saga.
But it was good for 2 of them, right? And then you guys want to.
that cum scene in Scary Movie is one of the biggest laughs I've ever had in the movies. I think in my life.
Story.
You like, I
actually
come
Miss
just
Man.
like that.
Miss Man was actually
Miss Man hurt me.
Which I don't even remember. Miss Man.
Miss Man was the gym teacher with the balls. The girl.
Oh yeah, I was at the premiere of this first Scary Movie.
Oh, you
premiere,
was?
no
In
less.
New York?
Crazy.
Yes.
Oh shit!
That shit was ruckus.
Yeah, I remember you guys coming in and be like, yes.
That was a
at the premiere, no less.
So, a Scary Movie.
That's a whole nother story.
Scary.
Best part, worst part.
Okay. Best part was it opened to $42.5 million.
Yeah.
0.7 or 0.3?
Yeah. What did they think? Maybe
I mean, we
17.
cried.
They had no idea. They didn't know. They knew it was going to be a good size opening. We didn't know that it was going to be that.
We was going to break records for
Yeah.
R-rated comedy ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ever.
It was very, very good.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah, it's just a damn funny
And
movie.
then it made
A good parody movie is fucking.
it made 167 here and 160 something overseas, which
which is impossible
We
for
made it for
gotta be
19
for a black director.
I'll tell you
too.
that's a hole in the market right now. Is a good an airplane.
Which brings us to
which brings me to A Haunted House, which comes out
Marlon's
in
got a
theaters.
picture coming out.
January 11th is called A Haunted House, and basically it's paranormal activity if it happened to a black couple.
I like that you didn't promote it when we were doing dates.
Oh shit!
You're like, I'm gonna be. We're gonna be.
I'll be at the Chuckalula Huckle Hut.
We're gonna be at the Orleans. Motherfucker, you have a movie coming out a week after that. Maybe promote that. Maybe don't worry about the Addison Improv.
I have a spot at the Hollywood Improv, 10:15 Thursday night.
Yeah, you're opening in 2,000 theaters.
I want to go. I want to go back. I want to
Dick, I
to
forgot.
Scary Movie though.
Yeah, go
Wait,
back
hold
to
on.
Scary Movie.
But first, let's talk about A Haunted House, which stars Marlon Wayans, Essence Atkins, Cedric the Entertainer, Avion Crockett, Nick
do dates
Swardson,
again,
and
man.
Dave Keckner. And that's all. Boom. Go see it.
go see it.
January 11th.
The trailer's
If you don't
funny.
see
I saw the trailer's
you bust
funny.
things. Thank you.
High
Yeah.
point of Scary Movie. It made that money. It opened.
We cried.
We fucking.
You actually cried real tears.
Oh yeah, we cried because
It's Friday night.
At
you
at
heard
what
it was
moment?
Going to?
Went to dinner at Kate Manley's. I think it was Sunday.
we worked so
On Sunday when you knew what it made.
Yeah, we worked so fucking hard. You know, it was just a good feeling that okay, something you did made the noise that you was trying to make.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Low point of Scary Movie was
How many?
well, couple. There's been a couple of
Yeah,
foul
give us a couple.
things. Well, one, we ended up having to share credit
with some writers that
we had a manager.
Okay, here's the beyond the manager. No, let's go.
No, I'm fucking saying
here's
that.
The thing. Beyond that.
I'm saying that.
Beyond that. Okay, here's
there's no beyond that.
Beyond that, there was another team. There was another team that did. Claimed that they did Scary Movie. When, and in fact, our
Writers.
team, Wayans Brothers.
They
did
wrote the
Scary
first
Movie.
draft, correct?
No, they did not.
They did
we
not.
did. And Miramax had bought their script to take it off the market. And but what happened was, when they bought their script to take it off the market,
they shelved that.
They shelved it, and they tried to say that we took shit from their script, which is bullshit.
So let's go.
By
back.
the way, now here. Hold on. So
We'll get to that later.
here's how you know the difference. Okay. The crew that said that said they wrote Scary Movie, but they never went on the fucking set with us.
They don't even know where we shot it.
I have no idea. Freeberg and Seltzer, who did Vampire Sucks, they did what movie?
All of the shit.
Vampire Sucks, Narnia shit.
Yeah.
Look, that's their shit. Now, we did Don't Be a Menace, Scary Movie.
In Living Color. Going
White
to Get
Chicks.
You, Sucker, yeah.
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker, Don't Be a Menace.
I gotta go with Narnia shit. Sorry, guys.
Our flavor versus their flavor.
Right.
Does it look like we stole their shit? Now,
And so the guild
That's
arbitrated
disaster.
and they won.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
So now we have to share credit.
Here's what happened. I had an old manager who used to work at my old at Gold Miller, who at the time, after Don't Be a Menace came out, he was like, "What are you working on?"
Jew.
And I said, "Well, I got this idea. I want to make
AIDS.
I want to make fun of. I want to make fun of Scream. I
Jew
want
with
to parody Scream like I did. with
Jades.
Don't Be a Menace." And he's like, "Oh, that's a fucking excellent idea." I said, "He said, what are you? Hurry up with that." I said, "Yeah, I am." This motherfucker, he leaves Gold Miller 3 months later.
Sells it.
He fucking took my idea and gave it to those fucking dudes.
Yeah.
And they were writing my idea at the same time as I was writing fucking Scary Movie.
So it's like a race against.
I'm racing
fever.
myself.
I don't understand how does someone win the Writers Guild arbitration if they don't have any fucking jokes?
Because there's unjust shit in the world.
No,
right?
I know, but that's one of those things. It's like
you
know,
they read the script side by side.
How did OJ get off for murder? But then he goes to jail
that OJ
for
actually murdered Nicole.
Wait a minute.
For a black person to say that.
Hold on a second.
Is a huge. You are the Jackie Robinson of the OJ community. So then you do the screams. You do a couple of those.
Okay, so we do the first one.
All right, by the way, when we did the first one, me and Shawn was writing that while we were doing, him, and Phil and Buddy were writing that while we were doing Wayans Brothers. And we were sleeping 2 hours a night. We'd have the big bottles of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, and we'd stay up
You guys are wild, man.
6 o'clock in the morning, and then we'd have to do table read and everything 3 hours later. Like, it was a crazy time.
Yeah.
Crazy, like very hard work, and then for them to say that we took it is bullshit.
Yeah,
that must
so
have
then
been
we do the first one, and then they want us to do a second one. So we do the second one, but the kicker was they wanted us to do the second one. The first one took 3 years to do.
Right.
From writing to actually shooting.
Now, are you doing your Keenan impression right now, or are you just talking at yourself?
I just talk like Keenan when I'm tired.
All right.
I'm talking about so anyway, we sign on to do the second one. But they want us to do the second one in a year. Meaning, not take a year
Oh, they
to
had
write
a release date, probably.
They want
right?
us to fucking...
Yeah.
They wanted us to write it, produce it, star in it, and put it out in a year.
Yeah.
So the second one came out... Nobody even knew that we fucking did a sequel. Like, it came out so fucking fast.
It still killed, though,
It
that
killed,
movie.
but it was just too fucking quick, and it almost killed us.
Right.
It was just almost impossible to do what we did
I'm going to
first
quote
time
Ray
around.
Romano saying to his wife, "Go cry into the bag of money."
What happened?
Romano said that
Go
his
fuck
wife would
yourself.
complain, and he'd be like, "Go cry into the bag of money." That's what I said to you guys.
Well, I wasn't crying. I was just,
I'm with it's that's the thing is that people don't understand is like how that the hours, like the white girls thing, where you're literally working 21 hours, and people go like, "What?"
Well, here's the dirty shit. So after the second one came out, they came to us to do a third one, and we was like, "Whoa, You know what? Let's take some time.
That's the way
off.
I feel.
We, if we do a third one, we want to do it the right way. 'Cause
Right.
We didn't feel right getting rushed like this, Steve.
Right.
Yeah, we like to do shit that people want to see over and over again. And, Scary Movie 2 was funny, right? But it wasn't our funniest, and it felt like it was more of a confection than it was a movie. Scary Movie 1 was a movie. Scary Movie 2 was a bunch of gags. That
All right, well, how do you explain the difference between a confection and, because I kind of know what you mean, but explain the difference between Scary Movie. Like, what's the difference? Because
it's the difference between Kentucky Fried Movie and I'm gonna get you, sucker.
Yeah, it's like a cohesive.
I understand,
One
but
is a
I'm gonna
movie
get you, sucker is
with
just a bunch of
characters that you
sketches.
care about,
but you
with a
actually think
journey
that
that
the
you care
narrative
about.
in the first
was better.
The
than
narrative,
the story,
the
and
characters, the situation,
Everything
what we
was
were
better.
parodying, everything was so much more well thought out. Like you really cared about what was going on.
That's
with each
interesting.
one. It
we
arcs.
had more time just to put it together.
Right, no, but I'm wondering if I
Two,
agree with you.
Meaning 2 was just a
I haven't
confection.
seen 'em.
It was just a bunch of gags.
I haven't seen them in a long time.
It was gag.
Watch
gag
it,
the
you'll
movie.
see.
It's
Okay.
all right. It's like watching a fight where Ali is just throwing right hands instead of jab, left hand, modulating your punches.
Setting them up.
So you
Using
think that
footwork.
in the first one, people cared about your story?
It was just more fun.
Yeah.
And it was seamless, and it felt more
They're just
organic.
They're just saying it had more of a narrative arc than the
No,
other
I'm
one.
just because I'm thinking about like the
It wasn't as desperate. Part 2 was desperate.
Okay, there's
Everything
your
was.
answer.
It's like the difference between. Reason why I call it confection. Mike Myers, me and him had this discussion and a couple of years ago, and he's talking about Austin Powers versus Austin Powers 2. Austin Powers 1, he was like, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Because it's a character. And
I
care
like
about
two-
the character.
I like 2 better, though.
And 2 was confection. It was a bunch of gags, and it was funny. But you didn't care about it the same way because
No,
they come
Austin
from
Powers
that.
was like
I like
a
Austin
movie,
Powers
yeah.
1. That was my
Right.
favorite.
You ever read the script?
No.
I read the script and I was like, "Oh, this is the best shit I've ever read in my life."
Austin Powers
I
1
was
is
so
my-
excited because I love Wayne's World.
Yeah.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
But get us to the present. Yeah, I mean, just quickly, like what's
presently we said fuck that, fuck everybody. I'm gonna raise some money and I'm gonna do a haunted house for low budget with I'm Global, and I'm put that shit out, and it's gonna be distributed to 2,500 screens with open road and in game. It's good partners, and we gonna shit on the walls, and we gonna do some different shit because there hasn't been a really funny send up in a long time.
I think that's true.
From
We could
this
really
point
do
of view.
well.
No, you're right.
Thank you. And it was great is I got the Red Band trailer. I'll show it to you guys when we're done here. But all the jokes aren't in the trailer. This
Good.
shit is just
Good.
absolutely this
Yeah.
shit that you can't put in the trailer.
Right.
It's
Good.
just
That's
out
great.
there.
Good.
Yeah.
So that's exciting.
All right, so Wayans Brothers again. They're gonna be at the Addison Improv.
That's what's important.
December
Don't
6th
fuck
through
the
9th.
movie. Go to see them in Ontario.
Right. December 6th through 9th. We're at El Cajon. December 1st. We're in.
You guys, I actually want you guys to come back. This was great.
Yeah, thank you
I
guys
hope
very much
people
for
learned
coming.
something.
Thank you, man.
God bless.
Fun.
January 11th.
Thank
A
you.
haunted house.
Now you're fucking with the thoughts.
Thank you.